Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, some of the best analysis in the game. Give it up for the world champ himself, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-champion, the world champion, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for Sam LaRue, Octane. And of course, we got the executive producer of The Flank. Please give it up for the one and only Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, what's going on, man? No Pat today, no Slayer. He's still working. Matches ended super quickly today. We only have 3 matches every day today this week. And I'll be honest with you, the matches today were...
Every day today this week.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Every day this weekend, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's only 3 matches. That's what I meant. Which is... how do you guys feel about it? I feel like it's not enough. Honestly, sometimes I feel like it's kind of...
Nah, those 4 match days can fucking drag.
They can.
Yeah, I agree.
But the thing is, with the 3 match days, they can also fly. And I feel like the day just kind of flew.
The 3 match days are boring matches. Yeah, I can definitely fly, which is kind of what we got today. Some of the matches today were kind of a snooze.
Yeah, some of them were pretty ass. Nah, they were kind of a snooze today, Ben.
I just think the one series... Sorry. The one series we thought we were going to Game 5, the Game 5 was the least climactic Game 5 of all time.
Yeah.
I know the second series got a little spicy, though.
It did. It got a little spicy. A little bit.
The third series just felt like I was still I felt like I was still watching Minor 1, bro. Like it felt like the map set was like damn near identical at a point, you know what I mean? So I just felt like I was getting a complete exact replay, even though it went the other direction this time.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Rokkr has 2 auto vetoes. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Hey, Sam, what's going on, man? We missed you, Sam. Everybody missed
Thank you, man.
We all missed Sam.
Yeah, streets were saying that you had to deal with Ben by yourself. There was a crash out with Lamar. Pat said the league was dead. I mean, apparently I missed the whole circus.
Pat wants everybody to give up. Fucking Ben and Lamar is fucking arguing and shit. Fucking, I didn't defend Ben. It was a whole big thing. Dude. It was a whole big thing, Sam.
Not here for 1 week, and not my circus. Not my monkeys, man.
I don't know how people miss Sam, bro. Sam doesn't even get a word in half the episodes.
Hey, I'm chilling, just collecting a paycheck. But that's all. I'm chilling, dude.
Sam, how was the vacay? Where were you? You were in Harry Potter World or something?
Disney. Yeah, I went to Disney.
Oh, hell yeah.
Went to, Chad knows him as Pander, but I went to see him and his wife run a marathon. And
that's awesome.
Hung out with them. Just good time.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. Well, good to have you back, Sam. Like I said,
Thanks,
no
man.
Pat today. He's working. We'll get him on during the weekend. But a few things to talk about before we head into today's matches. We'll go through each of the matches today. We had 3 of them. Give our thoughts. But before we do that, do want to talk about some news that hit the timeline today. First thing I want to talk about is new updates coming. I'm not really too sure because they released everything today during the watch party when everything was happening. I didn't really take a look and see like what the changes actually were. Sam, I know you mentioned it during the watch party that there was an update. And apparently there's a Ricochet announcement as well. Did Ricochet come out and say something?
Yeah, Charlie Intel tweeted it.
So what's going on? I don't know if Sam or Ben want to take the lead here. Well, what's going on with this update? Or Chris, if you guys see anything, what's going on with the update here? Any changes that any W changes here, or is it just kind of like a bunch of bullshit?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Here's the thing. I'm not being a pessimist, but I think Aiden actually tweeted. If you want to go to his Twitter, he hit the nail on the head. To be honest, when it comes to these blog posts, when it comes to Ricochet, they pretty much always sound like great changes. Everything that they say sounds like it's going to make an impact and it's going to be game changing and it's going to help the cheating situation. But I think Aiden tweeted out, he hit the nail on the head. He quote tweeted Modern Warzone. He pretty much said actions speak louder than words, because this is kind of the same thing that happens every single blog post. But hypothetically,
he's right. He's right though. He's right.
Yeah, in a world where what they say actually happens, it's a good thing. It's just more so we need to see it. Like, it needs to be something that we actually can tangible, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%. Ben, what are your thoughts on kind of the announcement today?
I mean, I kind of agree with Chris. As far as the anti-cheat Ricochet stuff, like, until I see it in action and it actually makes a dent into the issues that we've all highlighted across the community, I'm just going to be like, fine. There are a couple of interesting kind of global things that they kind of talked about in this update. They talked that there's a weapon balance pass. There's going to be some changes to bullet penetration involving like everything in this game. Further reducing weapon motion while jumping, sliding, and diving with dexterity.
But only with dexterity. So they're going to buff dexterity. I think the biggest news, though, that we just didn't even talk about was crossplay. Console
Yeah.
crossplay just being allowed to be enabled in ranked. So now people that do kind of want to avoid the mass PC cheating have an avenue to do so, which is great for the console community. It's great for the content creators that are primarily focused on ranked that just don't mind going back and playing on console. So, I mean, that's a W update. That's obviously going to be easily to change. But when it comes to the rest of the anti-cheating stuff, look, I said it before. At the end of the day, there are games that are of similar size. Maybe you can even argue that are bigger because they're more worldwide, like phenomenons like Valorant and stuff like that, and other stuff that have a working anti-cheat or like it's definitely more of a focus for them. So if those games can do it, you know, it's not like Call of Duty is just some fucking anomaly where they can't. So if they actually care, they can make good updates and they can probably fix this cheating. At least will, you know, make it better.
I will say, Chris, apparently there's hacks on console now. Apparently,
Sounding
yeah.
Q is the same as aimbot, bro.
Apparently. I mean, a guy got caught in 4K. I mean, yeah, Duarte, I saw you tweeting about it yesterday.
Yeah,
what happened? A guy got caught in fucking 4K here, or what?
So this guy was making this guy was getting an audio optimization on his PC, right? Because people, you know, they get the Art is War audio, all that shit, and he was in a game and he was playing console, but he was playing through remote play. And so the way these cheats works, it works is they can't actually read the game file, so it's not like hardcore hacks, but it's more like AI shit where it's like scanning your screen through like the PC because you're playing on a console, and like I guess aiding you that way. But yeah, that shit is unacceptable, bro.
Dude,
That's
all
crazy.
this to
That's
be
crazy.
good at COD, like to just sniff being good at Call of Duty, you got to do all this.
Yeah, it's
I would
crazy.
be ashamed.
I don't even know how people like enjoy that, like how they find like any dope from that. Like I just don't get it.
I mean, that guy apparently plays wagers, so obviously he's probably just scamming people out of money.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's fucking insane. Like people like that, bro. I don't know, dude. People are so weird.
I would actually feel so
Bro,
shameful just loading up every day.
I've said this before, and this is a bit of a yap here, so prepare yourselves. But I think Call of Duty created its own problem. The whole SBMM system created this bubble of players that are so dog shit that they've never seen what a good player looks like. So when they finally do see a good player in ranked, which actually has normal ranked, or they just watch people stream, they just automatically assume they're cheating because they're so trapped in their own little bubble of fucking terrible players. So they just assume that people that are better than them, they assume people that actually have talent, that invest a lot more time into the game, they don't realize it, and they just think they're cheating. Like Call of Duty created its own problem when it comes to like festering and you know this mentality of like everyone's cheating, spam reporting. COD made its own problem, and
I mean,
it's only up to them to fix it. And I don't know if that's ever going to be like a mentality shift ever again.
I don't know if that's entirely true because cheating is just like an epidemic in video games, period, right now. Like, look at Apex.
But
Apex is just as bad.
It's a mentality thing, right? Like in other games, like a lot more people more so will cheat because they just like they want to cheat. In Call of Duty, there's a mentality where it's like people will cheat because they think everyone's cheating, or people will cheat because they think streamers are cheating, et cetera,
I think it's an overall theme of video games right now. I don't think that it's like a Call of Duty problem. It's not endemic to us. It's just like cheating in general right now is just more popular than it's ever been.
Bro, people have been cheating. I remember Halo 2, for example. Like the cheating was so bad. And Halo 2 is probably the first console game that was a massive. Bro, they reset everybody's ranks in Halo 2 because the cheating got so bad.
You see an elite in Halo 2, you knew you were getting fucking aimbotted, speed hack, spawning in the air, getting one shot,
falling for the fucking sky. Like
that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
People been cheating for a long time. It's a losing battle for developers because you have to get a real kernel level to actually get a dent in it, and they're always kind of always a step ahead. I hope, and I think we all hope that this kernel level adjustment on the Call of Duty side actually makes a dent in this cheating population, but I think we all agree.
They said over 136,000 ranked play account bans since mode launch. Bullshit.
That's weird because Makari is still top 250,
I'm seeing the same fucking people on the score. How the fuck are they banning 136,000 accounts when I'm seeing the same names on the leaderboards? I'm not. I think
they're counting shadow bans as a ban because there's so many. Bro, I swear to God, this happens to me every time. I'll get like 5 notifications right overnight. It says, "Oh, we've taken action on the player," right? And I'm just trying to remember who I reported, right? And I swear to God, it's the same people over and over. And guess what? Week later, couple days later, same motherfuckers. I'm playing again. What action did you take?
Nothing.
Is this just a notification that's
bullshit.
like automated to be sent out to people that report shit to make them feel like you did something? What did you do?
Rumor has it Smurfy Worthy's still running around with a fucking
With
shotgun.
a shotgun, dude.
Somehow with a shotgun and rank play. He's been running it since day one. And even if they banned him, he'd probably come back as fucking Worthy V2. It'll probably still find a way to cheat. You know, I mean, these people are they're ruining the game. It is what it is. Any other final thoughts? Any other final thoughts on the update or the cheating or the ricochet bullshit? Any final thoughts?
Just what Aiden said, bro. Just got to see it.
There's also some weapon balance updates that are coming. So I think these are good kind of look ahead patch notes, but obviously as we get closer to season 2 launch, curious what the actual
Bro, this is patch notes related. It's not the ricochet stuff. Bro, I fucking hate that I go to the Warzone patch notes and they're saying, oh yeah, we're putting in built-in dexterity. We're improving reload speeds and mantle speeds and pull-up times and all this shit.
That's the real game,
I'm like,
Chris, that's why.
Why is this not in multiplayer? Why is it? They said that they are literally making improvements to Warzone. They're putting built-in like what is it called? Like quick grip gloves, all that shit. Meanwhile, we're playing fucking multiplayer and I'm watching the CDL pros and they pop out a trophy system and that shit doesn't get put down until 5 to 6 business days. Like, bro, why the fuck is my character a super soldier that can slide? But whenever I try to throw a grenade or reload my gun or pop a trophy, it takes so fucking long to do so. How is this? Why, bro? What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Duarte. It's a really good point. Things just aren't adding up, Duarte. Things aren't making any sense, dude.
It's a Haggy crash out episode. I love it.
He's crashing out, man. Go ahead. Anything else you want to, Duarte? Anything else you want to crash out on before we continue,
I'm
Duarte?
done, bro. I'm gonna shut up for the rest of the episode, guys. You guys got it.
No, you're good. I love a Duarte crash out. Nothing better.
Haggy hit his word quota for the episode already.
All right, let's move on. Next topic before we head into some matches is Envy is coming back into play. Breaking news, Hastro has reacquired Envy, Dallas Empire, and Dallas Fuel. This really surprised me. I'm not going to lie. I thought like after the merger and kind of everything that was going on, I just didn't think I'd ever see this, to be honest. I thought this brand was kind of pushed under the rug and it kind of it is what it is. But now to see that the brand is coming back, rumor has it is that they're looking at an Apex team. Ben, I know you were saying that to me.
It's already been announced.
So they already announced it. They announced an Apex team. And yeah, some people are wondering, does this mean that Envy's going to try and buy a spot in the CDL? Are they going to try and take somebody's spot? I mean, what do you guys think about it? First of all, I'll go first. I think it's really cool. I just think Envy's just such a household name that I was kind of sad when Envy went away originally. So just to see it coming back, just to see the logo, the colors, obviously Hastro. When I think of Envy, I think of Hastro, right? So to see Hastro getting back in there and getting the brand back is really, really cool to see. So I'm just excited for it. I'm excited to see what they end up doing. Obviously, they got the Apex team, but I'm sure they got a lot more planned and a lot more that they want to do. Ben, I'll kind of let you take the floor here because this is kind of like the business side here. So did Hastro kind of pull the same card as like Hector, man, where kind of like the brand goes away, but he buys it back somehow, Ben. He buys it back.
Yeah, I think it's similar. I think it's kind of hard to know some of the behind the scenes here until we hear from some of the people involved in more detail, like Shro or Hector. But it seems like since those were inactive intellectual property being used by OpTic now, that it made sense that maybe Shro was able to work a deal an affordable price, be able to buy that. And, he mentioned that, once his sale is completed, he's no longer attached to OpTic now. He's not on the board or anything like that. The interesting question that I have is that last Friday was the deadline for organizations to apply for the EWC Foundation, like club support program. So if you know anything about that and why I'm mentioning that is the money you get if you are an EWC club is like pretty significant, and the idea is that you would use that money to pick up teams. I wonder, and I would love to know if maybe the opportunity around there in the deadline, maybe they applied last week and this is part of that move to kind of bring it back, or maybe this is just they saw an Apex opportunity, maybe Shro wanted to get back in and he starts with this. I'm curious to see if other esports he wants to get into, because Fuel and Empire are great brands from Overwatch and from the CDL, or is he trying to get into one or both scenes again? I think we'll have to talk to Shro and get more info there.
It all seems so sudden because they announced this, that he pretty much bought the brand and immediately signed Apex team. Like, I'm assuming that he already has like a whole bunch of stuff lined up. So yeah, I'm curious as well. But with the whole buying the Dallas Empire brand, that's where I'm kind of just, I don't know if what they were planning on doing with that. Maybe they just bought the brand and they're just kind of going to back pocket it and not really invest in COD, or maybe we'll see them again next season.
I have a feeling we're gonna see them again. I have a feeling if Hashos, if they're investing into bringing the brand back, I mean, when you think of Envy, you think COD. At least for me, I think about Call of Duty when you bring back when you think of the brand itself. So I wouldn't doubt it if they're trying to make moves. I think the key is there's probably not going to be expansion, right? I think we can all agree on that. That expansion is probably chalked, which means he'd have to buy a spot. He'd have to buy a spot from a current team, or somebody would have to sell. Which I don't know. Looking at the league now, is there any team you can see selling at the end of the year? So we had a couple teams already come in. We had some new teams come in. Ben, who do you think is going to sell at the end of the year? What do you think is a good potential home for these guys? What do you think they can buy out?
Boston, Carolina, and I really wonder what the long-term plans are for Vancouver, Seattle.
You think Boston would sell? I don't know if Boston would sell.
Well, absolutely, Boston's going to sell. I mean, it's basically like a kind of shadow situation over there to begin with, because the org was going to fall apart.
Wait, I don't know if Vancouver is going to sell. I'm pretty sure, isn't Luminosity like the parent company? Didn't they, like, I swear to God, this last year, they tweeted how they finally like had profit. Like they literally broke, like they finally were able to profit their organization for the year. Like they turned it around.
So I'm going to answer your question and answer the question Scrap has in chat. That's why I'm saying I don't know if Vancouver's selling. I would just love to know what their long-term plans are, like accordingly, especially in regards to COD. Scrap's question about expansion is needed. I personally think, I don't really like a franchise league, and we should pivot to a partner model. And in those last 4 spots, because I think 16 would be really good, or teams that qualify in via open events, like the way that we used to have it. I think that would be the best way to do it. You would constantly get new organizations in that want to actually like activate and do stuff. And I think you would get some really good stories of people and organizations qualifying in.
Yeah,
I'm praying this is like the last year of this shit, and like this year. There are certain aspects of COD that have just taken a turn for the worse, and I just feel like we're going to be going back to some sort of a different model soon. I'm really praying that we ditch the franchise shit.
And hold on, Scrap said, because in his personal opinion, the next 4 teams you pick up will be dog shit. To be fair, Scrap, you think anyone that's not on your team is dog shit?
Yeah, that is true. He calls everybody,
which is understandable. I hear what you're saying, Scrap. I think an example is like Black Ops 4 was a year where people thought would be a little bit top heavy. The teams that came in that year that qualified in, and those teams end up actually being like pretty decent. So maybe, but I think like in some years, Scrap, you might actually see some bottom level competitiveness out of teams like 14, 15, 16.
I don't listen, bro. Scrap, we already know the personality that Scrap has, but like, how are we going to sit here and say this when we like watch the minor and in these last couple league matches and damn near every single series, even against the bottom teams and the high tier teams, are going game 5. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe when it comes to winning events, it's different, but like we're clearly at a point where at least competition, maybe it's the game. It probably is the way the game is. The competition is relatively close. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. There's a clip coming in from Scump here that I wanted to pull up and wanted to see if you guys agree with it. Let's tune in real quick and see what Seth had to say.
Literally the only thing keeping COD alive right now, at least in my eyes. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but dude, if the CDL wasn't a thing, holy shit. Not even just the CDL, right? If competitive Call of Duty wasn't a thing, I don't think anybody would be playing or watching this game. I feel like the CDL, just competitive COD in general right now, is the only saving grace. Do you guys agree with that? If there wasn't COD, would you guys be playing or watching COD at all?
Do you guys agree with Seth? Do you think that CDL that CDL is the only thing that's keeping COD alive?
Wait, hold on. Maybe from a
we live
content
in a bubble, bro.
The clip's missing context.
And I also don't think he means. I also don't think he means CDL. He said competitive. Like he doubled it. He said competitive, and then he said CDL. When it comes to content, bro, on this video game, for the most part, a lot of it is literally rank play, CDL, and tournaments now. Like, bro, when it comes to public matches and like stuff like that, content is like dead. When it comes to just casual like content, in my opinion, unless it's funny content, like funny gaming content.
I think it depends what it is.
Outside of that, most of it is all ranked, competitive, or CDL or competitive Warzone related. Like that's pretty much it.
What about zombies?
At least from what
I
I'm
feel like
actually zombies. You're right on
zombies
that.
is like a big part of COD, bro. Like
You're right on that.
I'm not a big zombies guy. I saw
You're
Joe
right, you're
Woe
right.
talking about this. He was talking about zombies a little bit, but zombies is actually, another. I see what Seth means though, because theoretically, what else are you watching that's COD related unless it's competitive COD?
Especially at this point in the year, like maybe if we were talking about at the beginning of the year, like the first month or two, like yeah, sure, people are watching, camo grind content and trying to do that, but at this point in the year, like 2 months, 3 months in, it's all rank play and competitive stuff, and we'll give it to zombies.
Yeah. What about you? Go ahead, Ben.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Sam. I was gonna bring Sam in. Yeah, I was gonna say what Sam thinks about it.
I just think that because I had this take too a couple days ago, and then I really sat back and thought about it. I think that we view the game entirely different than the actual fan base of COD. They don't watch content; they just play the game. They don't give a fuck. They don't care if people are making Warzone content or ranked content or zombies content. They just play the game. We live in a bubble of consuming content and playing the game at the highest level. So obviously we think that we're the ones keeping the game alive, but in actuality it has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. From a content's perspective, though, we're not talking about from playing the game. I think he even said
if we're strictly speaking content, then yeah.
But that's the thing for majority of
COD alive.
But bro, isn't that the thing for the majority of video games now? It's when it comes to content, it's you have your funny content where people are making funny, almost parody videos or whatever, or just trying to have a laugh. But outside of that, it's all competitive content in games for the most part, especially shooters.
Except for FaZe Jev.
I don't know if that's true.
Jev's a legend.
That's not that true for Fortnite. It's not that true for Minecraft. I think it just kind of depends on the title.
I'm talking about shooters, brother, not fucking Minecraft building blocks. Of course, that game is not going to be competitive.
Okay, but for Fortnite, the type of content,
fucking Minecraft Hunger Games, bro.
I mean, people kind of did. Remember the OpTic shit, but Fortnite, the funny group lobby type content bangs on Fortnite. I think for COD, I think you're right, Sam. I think is kind of a bubble take. I think if he meant competitive COD, the CDLs, I'm thinking competitive COD around. I don't know, because if we didn't have the CDL, Adam Apicella would probably still be running events out there. As far as regular COD, yeah, I mean, I think if you're living the content bubble and with anti-cheat and everybody in Warzone's depressed and everybody COD's depressed, you can feel the only good, positive content out there is the CDL. But I agree. I think if you go outside that bubble, you realize that people just kind of play because they like the game. They like Warzone.
They just play the game. They just play zombies. They play pubs. They don't really consume content like that.
Content for COD right now, the most popular, is going to be, listen, this is it. It's zombies. It's fucking competitive stuff, whether it's Warzone ranked or multiplayer ranked. And you want to know what the third one is? This is the most underrated one. It's literally bitching about the game. Those videos bang, bro. Bitching about COD and the state of COD. You watch people the fucking Blame Truth, Nero Cinema, J God. They're all just making videos about bitching about the game. Even fucking the Warzone guy, not the Warzone guy, the zombies guy, Mr. Raffle Waffles. He does a video. He does videos on
I did a podcast for them this week.
Yeah, and all it is just complaining, and those videos bang every time.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are saying Jev in the chat. I mean, Jev is an anomaly. Yeah. Jev is obviously the GOAT. He's been making
Jev
content.
Jev has his own fan base.
Jev is just huge in anything now.
He's just, he can, Jev's been grinding for literally fucking how many years? Fucking decades, dude. So, Jev is a different breed. But, I kind of agree with you, Duarte. People do make content now and just talking shit about the game. That's basically
they've always made content talking shit about the game.
But now it's justified.
But now it's it's justified and it's bigger than ever. It's bigger than ever, bro.
Yeah, I heard that. The big miss, and I've talked about this a few times, was Activision. Once they made a really good PC version of their client, not being ready for the future of a majority of the player base moving off of PlayStation, moving off of Xbox. The infiltrators moving off of both and playing PC and not having adequate anti-cheat, not having adequate resources to adjust that player base. That's been a big miss, and it's going to cost them a lot of money this year because they're now spending resources to scale up that anti-cheat. Yeah. It's costing them money in MTX because people aren't playing the game as much. Expensive, poor decision-making on their part that hopefully they can address next few months.
Let's move on. Let's get into these matches because we had 3 matches today. So let's shuffle through them, give our thoughts, and see what's going on here in the stat sheet. We can start off with the first series of the day. We got the Los Angeles Guerrillas Gentlemates going up against CLOUD9 New York. And this one was a 3-0 smoke here for LAG. I think the only map where I thought CLOUD9 could win it was the Hacienda Control, which in my opinion, they threw that map away. I don't know how the fuck CLOUD9 lost that one. And LAG, they get their first win on the board of the CDL season. So I'm sure the Gentlemates fan base, I'm sure they're going crazy. I know Gotaga and the Frenchmen, they bring a lot of people
his watch
with them.
party was popping
Oh,
when they
yeah.
won.
I'm sure they were going fucking crazy today. So cool to see them get their first win on the board. We'll scroll down, take a look at the stat sheet. Oh, Jesus, spot on. Almost a red carpet coming in from CLOUD9. It's Dylan Attach who saves them with a 1.17. But then, of course, you got a 0.92 from Kremp, a 0.89 from Mac, a 0.88 from Dante. Now, on the other side, we got a big series from Priesta, from P-Dog. That's what we're looking to see from Preston with a 1.24. Most damage on his team as well. Actually, the damage across the board for LAG was pretty even here. Everybody pulling weight in a damage department. He had a 1.06 from Linz. He had Kismet with a 0.94 and Skies with a 0.97, but they get the 3-0 victory. So, very good on the LAG side. Everybody pulling weight. But I want to start with CLOUD9 here. We'll take a look at the MVP too, Preston. MVP of the series. Shout out to P-Dog, my fantasy player. He's kicking up. We needed that one, P-Dog. We needed that. I want to talk about CLOUD9. Dante can't get kills right now. He can't get kills.
He can't finish them.
He can't finish kills. Yeah, in hardpoint. But it's been happening now for a few weeks, man. I mean, I don't know what's going on. From somebody who was a top slayer last year to now just can't finish kills. I just don't know why. Is it the game? Is it his team? Like, what do you guys think it is? Like, what's causing this?
I think this team plays far too individually in terms of like their plays. I rarely feel like you're getting situations where like people are baiting each other efficiently, and I feel like they're relying on individual playmaking, and that's why you see damage spreads like this that are just extremely like different because they're not playing together as much as some other teams, and they're relying on individual pop-off games from individual players like Kremp, like Mac, even Attached sometimes, to get them wins on the board. Like that's literally why you watch them play. It just feels like they are always separated. That Skyline hardpoint was just so weird. I just kept watching them like setting up, like trying to like break hills and just going in one by one by one by one, just never together.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about that a lot, right? Like team pushing and like playing as a unit, like that separates the bad teams from the good teams. And when you're in those cycles where you just go one by one by one by one by one, it almost feels like nobody's really working with each other and nobody's using their heads. Like they're kind of just running. They're just running and shooting. And it's just not going to work. It's not going to work at this level. They played a team today who doesn't have a win on the board. And they ended up, this was a big win for LAG. Like they needed at least one win on the board. So this was like a big matchup for them. I think both teams are 1-4 now, right? Yeah, they're both 1-4.
I mean, expand on Chris right now in hardpoint again early. CLOUD9 is a bottom 4 team in rotation percentage, and they are second to last in break percentage with the only team worse is Falcons. So, I mean, to Chris's point, when I watch them play, it just seems like they're kind of relying on Mac and Kremp to just get pieces because the ARs are a little bit inconsistent behind them. I think Dylan's been playing a little bit better as of late across all modes, but this Dante thing is just he is so important to this team. When we talked about in the offseason that he needed to be the anchor slayer in this team. And without that, they're just destined to just be a top 8, top 12 team all season.
Mm-hmm. When we praise teams like Minnesota Rokkr for like their breaking and their teamwork, granted they have their inconsistencies as players, but like it keeps them in games. And we look at their stat sheets every single time, and regardless of the KDs, all their damage numbers are relatively close to each other. And then you look at C9, who's dog shit at breaking, clearly, right? They're at the bottom too. And then you look at their damage numbers a lot of time in series, and they just seem like they're wildly apart. And their teamwork is lacking. They need to start working together as a team because they're doing themselves zero favors.
Let me ask you this question, Chris. Who do you think is the number 1 breaking team in the CDL right now?
I mean,
that could be anybody.
I think it's FaZe.
No, it might be FaZe or
no,
Rokkr,
it's not.
right?
FaZe is actually the number 1 rotation team. Boston Breach, number 1 break team
at all.
But again, to your point, Chris, you watch Boston play. They have a very good bait and switch teamwork on how their AR set up for their subs to make plays on that team. Like I just think that's how Oakland gets played on a lot of these maps. And right now from C9, you just don't see it in the respawns. And on top of that, like as built, I don't think they were ever going to beat some Insano S&D team. So you see kind of how that coupled with the fact that they're also like 1-6 in control. That's why I put them on a tier list of C9. I don't know, because this team should be better, but they're really struggling off the rip.
I also think it's like a play style thing. Like, just when you look at these guys on paper, like Dylan's kind of more of like that slow AR. Dante likes to play on an island a lot. Kremp is like just runs at people, right? Like Kremp is like the opposite, where he's just kind of just running you down. And then Mac is not really like the run you down type of sub, but he likes to get aggro and make plays. It's just, I just don't know if they're really meshing well together right now. And they're going to have to try and figure it out, like, as a unit. Like, they're going to have to try and figure out how to put it all together. Because I think when you look at the team, they have talent, no, guys? I mean, this team's got talent. At least when you look at them on paper, that you feel like they have talent.
They have talent, but they look like none of them have talent on the map right now, because they're all bottom kitties.
Well, they don't work together. I mean, you can't use talent if you're not working together. I mean, the game is just going to feel 10 times harder when you're not playing it the right way and you're not playing as a team. I mean, everybody's going to take a hit. So anybody got any other final thoughts about Cloud9 before we talk about LAG a little bit?
The only thing I would say is it's hard to really say anything good about them because they don't have something that they can fall back on, like a specific map and mode combo, or like being good at search or being a good control team. Like they're in the red across the board, and that is just worst case scenario. So I think it's just what you guys said. It's a lot of soul searching in the teamwork department. Like, I think they have good pieces. I think Kremp and Mac have kind of overachieved for me so far. I think they've been great. It's the same problem that they've had the whole season so far. They just aren't it right now.
Yeah, this match right here that we have is a match of the what the fucks. Like, we just didn't, like, both these teams are question marks coming into the series.
Like, the C9 looked so much better in the minor though. Like they looked like they were on the uptrend, and then they just come out and don't even try. To
be fair though, outside of their last, like, whenever they were like getting server cheesed according to them, we've only seen them like actually play one team. It feels like it's just Ravens. So like, yeah, they do look better. They did look better at the minor, but like they've played like the same team twice out of maybe like 4 matches that we've seen them that weren't like server cheesed. So I don't know.
I think for C9, right now it seems like the way that this played out, they are banning Protocol S&D like every series, and it doesn't seem like they have confidence on Vault. They've lost it a bunch now, so they didn't get a ban for Control in this series. Protocol got removed by LAG, but they picked Hosty over Vault. So, like, I don't know. To your point, Sam, I just don't see where the bread and butters are.
They don't have an anchor to fall back on for these series.
It's a real problem.
Yeah, it's not good.
Then on the other side, I wanted to talk about LAG. Obviously, they get their first one on the board. It's cool to see P-Dog dropping a 1.24 and taking care of business today. Because I watched Preston like on stream. I watched him in the Kaysan tournament. Shout out to Kaysan, who just ran the S&D tournament. You'll watch him on stream even on when they're just playing 8s and playing wages. Like, I watched P-Dog, and he, like, clearly the guy can play. So it was always like, what's going on here? Like, what's happening with him? So for him to come back and get a good bounce back series, I know he was talking about it in the interview today, just having like being confident in himself, because he knows the plays that he can make, and he knows that he's a championship caliber player when he's on and when he's on point. Like, he just needs to stay focused and keep that confidence up. Because you guys know, I mean, Sam, Chris, you guys been there, right? There's times where, like, maybe your confidence isn't really there and it hinders, right? You have to try and find that confidence. You can't play COD without confidence. Like, if you don't have confidence, you don't believe in yourself, like, you're not. Sometimes I feel like you're just going to be put in blenders, bro. Like, you're not going to be able to get kills. You're not going to be able to get wins. So if you're losing that confidence, like, kind of finding yourself and getting out of that slump is really important, no? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
But P-Dog, he obviously went crazy. And then you have a 1.06 from Linz. He's had a couple slow starts, but to see him pick it up throughout the maps has been good. Sam, I know he was on your fantasy.
He just loves starting 5 and 20,
yeah,
bro.
He has some slow starts, but I mean,
I think he did it in both respawns.
Yeah, but he's a very streaky player, Linz, isn't he?
Yeah.
Feel like
good for them, dude. Their sub duo has been good, man.
Sub duo Linz made a big play at the end of map 3 to close it out in that round 5. Like, this is the type of LAG plays that I want to see. I'm still a little bit concerned. Again, weak C9 team. Mav said double Skyline when they play better teams. I just don't think they're going to win both maps.
These two teams are very similar thematically. Like, when you look at their rosters, like the subs are clearly excelling at the moment, and then their ARs are just like a little to be desired. But sorry to cut you off, Ben, but I think like the number one thing I'm looking on the scoreboard is just the damage distribution on LAG. Like, you could tell that nobody was like out of the play throughout all of the respawns.
Yeah.
They were like all baiting for each other, all trading well, and I think that when you look at damage again on C9, kind of to Chris's point earlier versus LAG, like this is the outcome of the series. You're not outslaying crazy, but it just you get a 3-0.
The C9 scoreboard's hilarious because like their like KDs are so like similar. Like if you look at it, it's like they're all getting the same amount of attempts, you know, at engagements, but they're just not shooting back, which tells me like if you actually watch the match, they're just going in solo. They're not getting any damage output because they're just dying. They're just getting nuked by multiple players. They're solo challenge. But when it comes to LAG though, I've always said, I was saying this before, they have a lot more identifiable issues. Like their main issue, and Nameless even said it on the broadcast, I expect this team to be way better at search than they are, like with the pieces that they have. So when it comes to like this team, and the reason they've struggled so far is that they haven't been able to be good at search, which should be like a lifeline for them. And then when it comes to respawn, it like Priesta has just not been that good outside of this series. So that's kind of what they ended up turning.
Haven't been that good.
Yeah. But Priest has been probably a little bit worse. But point is, you know, this time around they get that S&D win, and Preston fries on the respawn. So completely different shift here. If they can keep it up, great for them. But I'm gonna hold back on commenting that until we see them get some more wins on the board, because one is not enough.
They played Toronto on Sunday, so like I don't. Map sensor with the tiny LAG hardpoint map set might be an issue against Toronto, but like if they can get to 5 and close out searches and somehow go 2-0 this week, like they played Vegas last week, like they could very reasonably that
closing out. I honestly, I don't expect LAG to win the next series against Toronto, but if they can take it to like a map 5, or at the very least keep every map relatively close, then I'll have more faith in like, okay, this team actually is kind of fighting back. Because right now, like, sure, they got a win on the board, but I need to see some consistency and being able to like keep up with other teams that are better than you. Like, I'm just gonna throw this out there, bro. Just do not be surprised if somehow this LAG team backdoors top 6 in Major 1. Like they just played mid for 5 weeks. They start to figure out here at the end, get some bread and butters. They win 2 matches in losers bracket, get blown away in that T6, but they still get a decent placing. Like I will not be surprised if that happens come Saturday at that event. That's the thing, though. That's certainly a take, because I just feel like every team, if you're naming 6 teams, there's just so many teams that have played so much better COD, or like they've been like keeping up with like even the people that we say are top 4. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing. But here's my only thing though. Like with LAG, we talked about this before the stage. Their schedule this stage was very difficult. They have not played Vegas. They have not played Miami. They have played Carolina, they played Carolina once. They played LA Thieves once. They played OpTic once. They've now played C9. They've played Minnesota twice. They played a lot of really good teams. Bro, I think they've avoided like some of the bottom teams. I'm still looking at this team. I think they might be more decent than you might think. I'm still looking at this team, though. I mean, I'm still looking at this team, and I still think, okay, Boston's probably better. Rokkr's better. I think Rokkr's obviously proven that they're better multiple times so far. So I think Carolina's better. FaZe, if they're playing like they did at the minor, they're better. OpTic is better. Like you're LAT, probably damn better. I haven't seen the matchup, but like, yeah, you can sit there and say matchup this, matchup that, but there are teams that are so much better than they are. I'm not gassing them up at all until they take a series off any of those teams that I mentioned. Like it's cool. They got to win on the board.
But you need to be able to keep up with the top teams. Yeah, you can't just you can't just say that, because it's like, bro, if you can't take down like say the top 5 teams,
bro, if they can't take down Rokkr, I don't give. They're not going to take down fucking FaZe or OpTic. They played a very competitive. I don't know if you remember the OpTic series. That series is very competitive. It doesn't matter to me. Like, yeah, I'm saying like it doesn't matter. I'm just saying they got to take one of those down before I give them any sort of flowers, because right now they're in the same shithole that C9 is, and it was like a battle of the question marks. That series. Listen, all I'm saying is like just don't be surprised if plot armor kicks in. That's all I'm just trying to say. Vegas has competitive series with fucking OpTic. Like, yeah, I'm saying like we're not. I'm not touting that shit, bro.
This part in the control made no sense. CLOUD9 should have 3-0'd the control and sent this to a map number 4, and maybe we could have got a better series here. But they kept going B when they basically had A. I mean, they basically had it. And for some reason, LAG just didn't want to deplete the fucking point. They didn't want to deplete the 8 point, and they just let it sit there. It took them all the way to the 5 seconds were left for finally CLOUD9 to hit through mid lobby and make a play here. I mean, Sam, we were talking about it during the watch party, and because LAG didn't deplete, look how easy they capped this 8 point. The problem is because CLOUD9 waits so long to make that play and collapse on A. Now they don't have any lives, and they don't have any time. They have 50 seconds left on the clock. They have 8 lives to work with left. And this is where LIG starts mounting the comeback. This is where they end up getting the reverse sweep here in the control and winning the series 3-0. Do you guys agree with me there that they have to stop splitting points? I hate when teams split points in control. When you have half the team playing 1 point and the other team playing the other point, like they have to focus 1 point and cap that point.
Bro, not only that, they were trying to go well. Going well is dirt shit.
They were playing like they had a minute and a half left.
Yeah, you literally, the way there's only 2 routes you hit on this shit. You're going secret and top closed, or you're literally just hitting out Lambo and open. Like those are literally the 2 lanes. You don't go well. The only time you go well is if like your team already has like pressure and like you're looking for a route close to B. Outside of that, they were just trying to funnel well. What the fuck are they
You'd
doing?
be surprised
I don't
that
know.
both Hossies we watched, that's all teams did.
What are you doing, bro? Go.
That's all teams
You gotta
did.
get control of the bro.
They'd rather
gotta
go play hide and seek over here than take mid-map control.
I mean, B hypothetically, the way you take B is very similar to how you take the search bomb site. And how do you take that shit? You don't just go well. You go secret and closed, and that's how you take B point. Same way you take, is it A or B? Either way, the bomb site that's over there. It's the same shit. So them flooding well, those guys were losing their minds.
But to Tom's point, they could have closed it out 3-0 instead they lost 3-2.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because Minnesota back in the
bro,
right.
you win a
LG,
good
sorry.
a good control, and you win the control 3-0. You're going into a map 4 now. You win that map 4, you're at a map 5 already. Like theoretically, you just take it 1 map at a time. Like Cloud9 could have still been in this series, but they just looked like they brain farted. Like it looked like they were like just blacking out. It almost looked like they were just running and dying, run die, run die, run die. Like you said, flooding well or flooding top hall. Like they weren't.
Not
playing.
doing anything together, bro.
Yeah,
Look
they
at those
weren't
arrows.
doing anything together. Like it was actually like annoying to watch. And then of course we get to the very end here. This is where LAG was able to put them in a blender. The ending here was kind of crazy because I thought C9 for a second was actually gonna do it and hold on, but this got a little scary. What do you guys think about Hot Seat Under Control? I feel like today's like the first day we really got to see it. Has anybody played Hot Seat Control? Is this the first one we've seen?
This is the it is the first ones.
What do you guys think about it?
I saw it in challenge.
After seeing it in a pro level match, I mean, what do you guys think about Hossie?
I mean, I don't think it's that good, but I don't know.
I have a feeling that this map is going to become a skill gap, and people are going to be way better at it than certain teams, and it's going to force a control map pool like fuckery, kind of how Berlin did when it got added in Vanguard.
Yeah,
I think teams
that
are
makes
going
sense.
to master this map and force an auto veto for some teams, and it's going to screw over a lot of series going forward. Because I could tell that the way that this map is played in the first 2 reps, that there are teams that are going to get ahead. And I think there's a lot of room to improve for sure.
You can really like spawn manipulate the offense like you could in Berlin to an extent and like kind of really funnel them. And I think to your point, Sam, like the teams that make the right decisions and get out of that, the teams that don't get put in that consistent trap, like that's the real offense defense.
Bro, I gotta take people said that this map would suck offensively because of the spawn points, but I think this map was going to turn into offenses better, in my opinion.
It's not, bro. If you just don't go 3 or 4 dead on either side, both sides are equal.
Bro,
It's just don't get shit on all the
I
time.
feel like if you get kills on offense, they do spawn kind of like far enough to where you can like work a stack and funnel. I mean, exactly what LAG is doing right here.
Oh, you can hard funnel. Like you can, if you just watch when you get that wave top mid, if you just watch office and top like open and just don't let them push through rock and a lot of the time you get locked into that Lambo spawn. So you not only does the offensive team get better access to open, quicker access, I feel like you just cut off everything. Also, B, I'm glad that we saw pro teams going B first before A, because B is definitely easier cap than A, which is kind of insane looking at the map. But B is easier than A in my opinion.
Yeah, they spawn far from B. A is a little harder to get because they can be pinching like your halls or come
They
from
can shoot you from anywhere, yeah.
Come from, they can shoot you from anywhere.
Just wait till people in that boathouse spawn decide to send one person go swimming all the way around to P2. It's gonna be very funny. Just because you
No
then
one's
start
doing
fucking
that.
spawn
It's a
trying to
terrible
fuck
play.
out of people.
It's a terrible play.
LAG
Okay,
guys.
no one doing that.
You think
If-
people
if-
are going to spawn defense, they're going to spawn in boat, and they're going to swim all the way to P2? Is that what you just said, Ben?
I mean, if you are
Bro, that might be the
so
slowest
like
route. Bro, your
the last
teammates might
person
die
up
five.
and they're,
It's gonna be
and they're
over by the
not
time
on
he gets
fucking
there.
rock, fuck it.
Your team might die 5 times before you get to
You-
Lambo.
You got
Yeah, hit a
Michael
fucking
Benja's
route.
Michael Phelps, dude.
That's
I mean,
a
I'm
Ben
just
J
making
route.
I'm just making a prediction. We'll see if it comes true or not. We'll see if it comes true or
That's a
not.
Ben J
It's a Ben
route.
J route right there. It's a Ben J route. Absolutely. Any other final thoughts, guys? Cloud9, LAG. LAG get their first one on the board. Both teams are 1-4 here. They both got to go back, make sure they fix some things, and get ready for the next one. But any final thoughts, guys, before we
I
move
need
on?
C9 to get an identity. I need their ARs to play better.
Both these teams.
Both teams. Yeah.
Both
I mean,
teams.
this is the same team, but on both sides. But
Right.
I need C9 to find an anchor point of some sort in a game mode to just try to extend these series or have something to fall back on.
Yep. Agreed. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got the Vegas Falcons going up against OpTic Texas. This one ended in a 3-1 victory for OpTic Texas. The only map that the Falcons were able to take was the map 2 S&D. We'll scroll down and take a look here at the stat sheet. Almost a red carpet here. Xnid, he had a 1.0. He's saving his team from the red carpet from his teammates. I mean, he's not looking too good here. He had a 0.76 from Doom. He had a 0.73 from Roxas. And then you had Wixel with a 0.84. Just not looking good here in the slaying department for Vegas. And on the other side, it's the green carpet from OpTic. You had a 1.58 from Hook today. Holy fucking motto. You had a 1.30 from Shotzi, a 1.01 from Kenny, and a 1.06 from Dashy. You also look at the damage department. Everybody with 10,000 plus damage over in the OpTic side. So everybody pulling weight. We'll scroll down, take a look at our MVP. Who is it? It's Hook the Nuke. He's got a 1.97 on hard point, 0.86 in the S&D, and a 1.20 in the control. Good series coming in from Kyler here. Ben, we'll start with you. The hard points for OpTic were really comfortable in this one. I didn't think there was any chance Vegas would win in the hard points. The control was a close one, went all the way down to around 5. OpTic were able to close it out. It was the S&D that hurt OpTic here a little bit as Vegas were able to bring it back. They found some passion, man. I mean, these Vegas cats got a lot of passion, man. These guys were screaming. So it was cool to see them win a map on a board. But overall, pretty comfortable from OpTic, at least in my opinion. But Ben, what did you think of the series, Ben?
I thought map 1 got a little bit interesting, but I felt like OpTic was pretty much in control from like the second rotation on. Just kind of managed the lead from there. I think as always the Vegas team, like they're just so close to winning these maps, and they just make some poor decisions. So I think that, for OpTic can't be too mad. 3-1, and Vegas steals a map. It is what it is. And I think the real focus for OpTic is Sunday against Thieves.
Oh, is that who they play next? They play Thieves next. That's right, on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a banger, Sam. Sam, what about you? What do you think? What do you think about the
Business
series?
as usual, man. I thought it was pretty routine for OpTic. Map 1 looks closer than it actually was. I think Falcons went on like a little 50-point swing at the end of the game.
It was comfortable from OpTic, in my opinion.
Yeah, both hard points were about as bad as it could have got for Falcons. That's why the scoreboard looks like that. Control was a little worrisome for me. It's like a typical OpTic control, some lapses on when to stack point and routes that they were taking. And then the search, I think Falcons were doing some weird shit in S&D. They were like just taking weird chows, just playing a little unorthodox, which is why I think that they ended up getting the better of OpTic on that map. But
to be fair, it's all there's like that map is so one-dimensional. Like the only way to separate yourself is to do just weird shit.
Yeah, and Falcons were doing very weird shit on this map, so I think it just caught OpTic off guard. But all things considered, Kyler's him, so good one.
What are y'all's thoughts on Wixel and Doom? Because I mean, these are this is what the second match now we've seen from these guys. Obviously, Kicks he had some personal reasons as to why he can't be competing right now. So, I think a lot of people were hoping that he comes back soon with the way that he was playing. But what are y'all's thoughts so far on Doom and Wixel? Because I was told that these guys are shooters, but so far from what I've seen, they've been struggling.
Doom had some moments. He had a couple. He had a couple flashes in this series. Wixel, I didn't really get anything from. But
honestly, bro, I'm almost ready to kind of call like throw in the towel when it comes to like how I see this team. I think I said it before. I think Xnid and Kicks, the only two people that are probably going to be, at least for now, from what I've seen, going to have
twice. We haven't even seen them play another team yet.
Yeah.
I
mean, either way, when we've seen them, I guess when it comes to Wexel and Doom, but I'm still gonna say I'll call it early. Still, I think Xnid and I said it before. Xnid and Kicks are the two people that have the biggest future, at least that we've seen so far, because they still have more people in the academy. Like, who knows? They bring out what is it, King, QK, 4B. I think those guys, they shoot in challengers. Maybe they try those guys out, and maybe they have a better showing in the pro league. But point is, I've said it, Xnid, Kicks, those guys definitely have a future. I think those guys are actually very talented. They seem like they have a better grasp of the game, the pacing they have to play, and they play pretty well. But wait, where'd my cam go? I got moved to AFK in the Discord. Is it because I don't have a role?
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need a role in the Discord so that way I don't get moved to AFK. But I think those guys are good, and then I think everyone else just is not going to have a future in the CDL. So yeah,
bro, Xnid is good as fuck. Sorry to cut you off, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. Xnid and Kicks.
Xnid's actually really good. Like that guy, he's got a good snap on him. He knows that he plays the game well. I also like how aggressive he is. Like, there's so many times where like some players, like, they don't get aggro off kills. Like, Xnid is actually, he's a playmaker. Like, he can make plays. Go ahead, Ben. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, and you could tell when we go to camps and search, like he's shot calling. The one thing with them, and I wonder, like, if I could talk to Claire or Luti, like, it just seems like every time we're gonna listen in with them, they're getting a little frantic in these series, and like when you play a team like an OpTic and you're too frantic and undisciplined, you're just giving freeze and just making bad decisions, and like I think that might be a lot of a gap for them to figure out. Like I don't know what their comms are like in practice. We're not there, like that. You know, we've talked, and Sam, I know you've talked about this a lot. Like your kind of thoughts on that type of comms versus more calm, and like how that leads to more consistency in respawn and less kind of mistakes you're making on the map.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying to figure out how to play the game and you have all 4 voices going kind of crazy, obviously, you know, we don't know what the fuck they're saying, but if we hear all 4 people in the way that they were commenting, I know it's just hectic for them. Which...
I was gonna say, we obviously don't speak the language, we don't know what they're saying, but let's tune into the listening, because I mean, I think we can just tell how hectic it was. I mean, I love the passion, but let's take a look and listen.
You hear how every kill is the most important kill to them? Like, that's what it sounds like.
انا اشوف يمين انا اشوف يمين انا اشوف يمين ها داش يمين واحد بروح من النص يا عيال هدي فك النص فك النص انا هدي يمين لا هدي يمين باقي النص شال خوي عندي بيان وجهت واحد كسر انا اشوف بيان وراك جسر ثاني جسر بيان ماسكين حدين اي فوق
Okay, so that's gonna do it there for the listening. I mean, even in that situation right there, when they were freaking out, like they were getting pinched, and I don't even think they were realizing it because they were just all screaming so much. But it's really hard to play the game the right way when everybody's yelling like that. At least in my experience.
I was gonna say, this is actually something that, like, you guys bring more attention to it. Actually, kind of just opened my eyes, because I remember when we talked about this team and people were kind of giving their history. They said that this that region, what is like the MENA region or whatever, was mainly S&D only for like a very long time. And like, so when it comes to learning respawn, you know, these guys are gonna have an uphill battle. But when it comes to learning respawn, something that I guess maybe even the viewers, like, this is something that we can talk about, is like communication in itself, when it comes to efficient communication and respawn, is a fucking huge skill gap.
Yeah.
That I don't think we even like really brought any sort of light to when it came to like, oh yeah, they got to learn rotations and discipline and all that stuff. Bro, the communication is something that I feel like, if especially listening to these listens, granted we can hear what they're saying, it just sounds
Well, people in the chat,
that's a skill gap.
There are people in the chat who do speak Arabic, and I've seen a few people now, not even one guy, saying that there was one guy in the team that kept saying calm down, like somebody was saying calm down during the listening. Somebody's like, that's just how they talk, bro. That's how they communicate. Like, brother, no. Like, that's how they communicate. They need to change how they communicate, because you can't have small talk when everybody's screaming. Like Sam said, every kill is not an important kill. It's too hectic. You can't have a conversation with your teammates and actually have small talk with them if everybody's yelling. You just can't. You can't hear anything. You don't know what's going on the map. Like, if that's how they communicate and that's how they just always talk, well, then that's not good. They need to go back to the drawing board and adapt and change the way they come and the way they call out. I mean, I've had problems with communications on our team, you know, where like sometimes maybe we're not calling out as much, or it's the opposite. We're too frantic and we're calling out too much and we're going rogue. Like, communication, like Chris said, is a very important thing when it comes to the game of COD. Like, they have to make sure that they're having a good conversation with each other. I'm sure Clay listened to that listening and was probably thinking the same thing. I'm sure Clay's saying it to him, because you can't micromanage anything on a map if you can't hear anything. If you can't hear, you're like, what the hell's going on? You know, so if you're the Falcons, definitely going to want to clean up the communication a little bit, clean up the comms, because I think it'll help a lot. But any other thoughts on that, guys, on the comms or Vegas at all? I want to talk about OpTic a little bit too. And then on the other side, OpTic, again, Hook, Masterclass series today, right, from Hook. I mean, Hook looked incredible today. Shotzi doing his thing. I think Dashy started a little slow today, which we don't see. He's been, like, unreal. But he started a little bit slow. He still ended up positive with a 1.06.
I think it's map 4. He was like double positive.
Bro,
Yeah, map four,
Brandon
he
got
went
in
crazy.
so many unlucky, weird situations in map 2. Like, it's kind of nuts what was happening to him on the map.
Mhm.
Sometimes it just be like that, but I think Kyler today had a fucking masterclass, which if you're not a fan, you love to see. Like, on all of the respawns, he was just absolutely just going off today.
Yeah. Kenny played good today as well. Love to see that. I mean, I saw a lot of people that they've been yapping about Kenny, man. They've been yapping, but I mean, Kenny's a winner. I think we all know that Kenny's a winner. Shotzi even said they love what Kenny brings to the team, and you know, you want somebody on your team that knows what they're doing and knows how to win. So I think when Kenny's going through like these slang slumps, like I don't think it's really as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Especially when you see like Reddit or Twitter or even the comments on the flanks and stuff. Like I think people are really quick to jump on like the hate train and try and get these guys like dropped or try and get these guys changed. I mean, teams and players are gonna go through slumps. I think it's about how they get out of those slumps and also just the plays that they're making around the map. Like as long as they're making good plays and making the right plays, then it's all right, you know. But if there's anybody who's gonna turn it around and pick it up, is Kenny, bro. Like that guy knows how to play the game. Like it's not like this is Kenny's first rodeo here. Because I know a lot of people, again, were just, you know how they get when OpTic loses or when OpTic plays close matches. You know how these guys get.
That's just the thing with any team, bro. Everyone wants to blame one person, and a lot of time they're just gonna look at like the KD,
Scapegoat.
and they're just gonna scapegoat him, bro. It's the same shit with Hook. Hook will, if Hook has a fucking match like that and they lose, they're gonna be like, oh, dude, like Hook, man, bring back Brett. Bro, people don't understand what it takes to win in COD. People don't even know what the fuck teamwork is when they're seeing it on the mini map most of the time. Like these people just are so quick to judge.
Tired,
most
bro.
of the time don't really know what they're looking at.
Bro. It's a tired narrative, and if you think that, like, I'm not going to go on a tangent about it because everybody watching this knows how I feel about it, but it's just a tired narrative.
I think one thing for OpTic, now having watched him play S&D a couple of times, and it's a small sample size, but I noticed that they are struggling to get they're getting bombs down, as everyone does on Vault, but they're struggling to get that like first kill and make it kind of an easy 4v3. So I'm sure they'll work on it because it's probably going to be a bread and butter map for them at the major, but one thing I'm kind of identifying that may have kind of led to some shortcomings on this map and why they lost it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and OpTic plays Thieves next, right? That's who they play next?
I
Correct.
think their
That's a
second
banger.
match on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
That's gonna be a banger, bro. I'm excited for that one. Can't wait for the Thieves OpTic match. Obviously, it's gonna be a big one. Thieves and OpTic, two of the best teams in the game. So that's gonna be a really, really good one. Any final thoughts on Vegas OpTic? Any final thoughts with these guys?
No, Vegas will struggle to find a win, and OpTics and Cruise and just working on the little things before the major.
All right, let's move on. Let's take a look here at the next matchup. Last game of the day. Only 3 matches today. We had the Minnesota Rokkr going up against the Toronto Ultra. This one again going all the way down to a map 5 for the Minnesota Rokkr. How many map 5s have we seen from the Minnesota
They
Rokkr?
played 5, 6.
I
They
mean,
love it. They love a map.
I think
five.
they played
they
6
love
game
map
5s.
5s, man. They love it, man. They love these map 5s.
Not in this series. Not in this series. They didn't, but they love going to map 5.
Take a look at the scoreboard here. We got Estriel with a 1.23 at 108 kills in the series today. Holy hell. What a series from Estriel. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for him. You had a 1.11 from Geo, but you had 2.7s from Nero and Paul X today. I feel like you don't see that a lot from Nero, at least this year. I feel like in the past, Nero's had like inconsistency problems, but this year he's been pretty consistent. But today, you see what happens. I mean, Nero had 108 deaths in this one. He was really running it down. I mean, that's one thing I love about him. Even if he's not playing well, he'll still keep that gas pedal down. But clearly, he had a rough series today. He had a lot of damage on the board, but a rough series for him and Paul. And then on the other side, you had a 1.11 from Beans, a 1.11 from Kleenex. He had 100 kills in a series as well. Jodeci's with a 1.01, Insight with a 0.94. Everybody from Toronto Ultra pulling weight. MVP of the series going to be Kleenex, 69-27 votes. Good series coming in from Toby. Go ahead, Duarte. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, can you scroll up and just look at the score lines for the response again?
Yeah, 185 to 250 in a protocol hard point in favor of Toronto. And then the map 4 was 250 to 230. What's up, Ben? What's wrong?
I was gonna.
You talking about the players?
No, I wanted to see the score lines, that like actual score lines of all the respawns, because like, okay, this is again, I just want to like bring this up because we were talking about like KDs and damage for like the other teams. It's like this is a product of what like teamwork looks like, even if they are like not playing well individually. If their teamwork is good, look at their fucking KDs on Rokkr. If their teamwork is good, they're able to keep these respawns close hell, even win one of them when they have players that are literally not finishing kills, but they are all in the play and contributing. Look at those damage numbers and look at those KDs. Yeah, Nero couldn't fucking finish a kill, but it didn't matter. He was still in every single play and playing like he just played as a team, regardless if they could finish kills. You look at other teams, and that's why I've talked about like when it comes to like the way these guys play, you look at other teams and it's just so different.
Boys, it's time to have a conversation about the Minnesota Rokkr. Tom, scroll up, please, and click on the vetoes.
Yep, sure, no problem.
Minnesota Rokkr right now on the season are 2-10 across all game modes on Protocol. And they are playing a lot of Protocol because they do not play Skyline Hardpoint. They're 0-2 on it. They do not like to play Protocol. Protocol S&D keeps getting in. They're 0-4 in the map. They don't like to play Red Card Hardpoint. Their map pool, I fear at the moment, with their Protocol form is tiny, and no one is going to play them on Vault Hardpoint. Their Hossie Hardpoint actually might be decent. I think it's going to get in a lot of series, and I think they look serviceable on it. And on the control side, you're seeing teams get away from playing them on a Vault control. I think Minnesota's map pool needs to be worked on over the next 2 weeks, or they could be a
Why do they
candidate.
ban Sky? What's their record on Skyline? Minnesota.
0-2.
They're 0-2. I feel like that would be a good map for them, just play
That's
style
exactly
wise.
what I said.
Well, Toronto's 2-1, and yeah, I guess Minnesota's just this is a problem. And like they are playing good. I agree with Chris. I like their teamwork. But they've had a couple of these sinky game 5 now on Protocol. The hardpoint map pool, like
I feel like
I'm starting to get a little worried about this team, man.
I feel like they also just kind of match up like shit against Toronto when it comes to like their map pool. I think it's just ass. Like,
Bro,
yeah,
they
they beat them.
problem. You know, what teams are good at Protocol, Chris?
FaZe.
Who else? You want to
be-
Thieves' record on Protocol?
To be fair, we
That's
have
not Thieves isn't good at Protocol.
No, but the thing is,
they're good at Protocol controller. They are 2-0 on the map.
Oh,
thing is-
you just
they
mean
have
in general?
Yeah, just
Like,
in
what-
general.
What did you
Then
say?
after
What did you say,
search,
Rockers?
Carolina.
What did you say Rockers' record was on the protocols?
2-10.
OpTic is 5-2
no,
on
2-10,
Protocol.
Chris.
2-10.
Rockers, yeah. 2-10.
On
Damn.
what protocol? Hardpoint or
Everything.
or
All
just
modes.
everything?
All
Everything.
modes.
Damn,
Yeah.
son. That's not good.
And it's combo. The hardpoint one, the S&D thing we've talked about in the 0-4 protocol. They got to open up and start thinking about red card S&D. They can't be an auto veto at the
Yeah,
moment.
they definitely need to
Yeah,
open up
so-
their map pool for
But
sure.
they have
not
a.
wrong.
They have not won a red card. They have not won a Skyline. They're 3-0 involved, so no one's going to play them on it. They're 1-4 in protocol. You see how you only really have 2 good hardpoint maps. Yeah, they're doing a good job of working around that and grinding out these series.
Well, they just can't win a map 1 in those series either. They're like 1-6 in map 1.
Yeah.
They're starting every series down 0-1, which is why it always goes game 5. Like if you have a minimal map pool already and you're compounding that with a map 1 loss every time, no wonder they've played 6 game 5s.
There's a Seattle Surge problem from fucking Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if you remember that, but they had this similar problem. Tiny map pool, and we're losing map 1s, and it's just the only answer is to try and figure out red card hardpoint, figure out Skyline hardpoint, so you can keep people honest in the vetoes.
Yeah, I'm like the
people are saying-
biggest. I'm the biggest
by the
hater
way-
when it comes to auto vetoes. I'm the biggest hater when it comes to that shit, bro. I mean,
Can I call people out in the chat? Why the fuck are people saying fire Dan? How is it Dan's fault? Dan is not on the fucking on the map, like controlling them when they're playing protocol hardpoint or protocol search. Like the players have to put in the work and work with the coaching staff to get better on these maps. I don't know why you think that's fucking.
Bro, if anything, you should
Dan's
be
fault.
praising Dan. The fact that
Their teamwork is very good.
The fact
Yeah.
that these guys have, bro, Ben just exposed like 3 glaring weaknesses that anyone could have taken advantage of, and the fact that nobody has to an insane degree, and even if people have been trying, they've been competitive with literally the entire league and making these runs. If anything, you should be praising Dan. These guys literally should
why
be.
did Minnesota pick protocol control if they're so ass at it? If they're 2-10, just pick Hossie. Call it a day.
They were
probably don't wanna play
1-1.
Aussie.
They were 1-1 on
Yeah, they
protocol
still
before
wanna
that.
play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And so it just Minnesota's got some map pool things they got to work
I mean,
on
they won it.
because
So.
here is the problem, and we've
and they
identified.
lost-
We've
they lost the
seen
protocol control.
we have seen teams like Minnesota in the past be very serviceable
I was
online,
reading that backwards.
going into a major, and then they have a tiny map pool when they pull up to the event and they get double rounded and they get dead last when they probably are better than that. I think Minnesota's just got to dig in here and do a little bit of work because I'm just very concerned about the trend right now with this team in their map pool.
Yeah, I will say I do agree with you, Chris. Though that even like if they are losing series, at least they're playing together and doing shit together, right? You could definitely see that. And then the other side, we had Toronto Ultra had a 1.30 from Beans today. Oh, sorry, that's not the overview. 1.11 from Beans today. 1.11 from Kleenex. 1.01 from Joe. Insight with a 0.94. Everybody pulling weight on the Toronto side. What do you guys think about Toronto? I love the way that Toronto plays. I just think I think there needs to be I think there's some consistency problems sometimes with the subs, like with Kleenex and Joe. Like sometimes I feel like they get kind of caught in like these blenders. Like Joe's in a little bit of a blender today at times, and I mean Kleenex has honestly been pretty consistent so far this year. He's been really good, but I mean in terms of like in terms of like Joe and Kleenex, like how they play off one another, like when they're on point, like the pace that they play at when they're on point and they're getting kills, like they got to be hard to play against, bro. 100%. And then you got Insight, who's probably just playing gritty as hell, probably just holding a lane, like probably just being like the backbone of the team.
That's exactly what Chris and I said however many months ago, bro.
Yeah, and then Beans, who in my opinion, Beans has been impressing me as well. Beans can get aggro, dude. Like Duarte, I remember you telling me that Beans is more of an aggressive player, and I was like, I disagree. This and that. I mean, I see it now. Like I see the aggression from Beans when he pulls out the sub, and he gets mixy and he gets involved. Like I love when Beans gets involved a little bit more.
I also want to keep tipping this, bro. Like they've lost like one search so far. I'm pretty sure, right? In the entire time, two. Okay,
they're both Hossies.
And they're both Hossies. Okay, well either way, they've lost two searches. Like their search is still really good. Like if they can keep this search form, like they're going to be a hard team to beat, because at the end of the day, that game mode is fucking everything, and it's probably the game mode where you can create a way more separation than any other game mode in this game right now.
They did lose the map too, but
yeah, they've lost two haciendas. So that's like the map I feel they've played it in both series. So clearly it's probably one of those things where either Minnesota matches up well and they just like get countered by them, or it's a thing where they're playing it well. They're winning it in scrims and they're just trusting it in matches. And granted, they've lost them both. Have they lost both of the Hossie SMDs to Rokkr? Were they both to Rokkr? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay, so like
because they 6-3'd them in the minor.
I'm not going to read too much into it because they've only lost S&D to one team and it's the same map twice. So maybe they just can't beat that team on it. But if they lose that map again against other teams, then we can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, the OpTic series they play next week could be really interesting because I can see the Hossie angle in that. But I think if you're a Toronto fan, look, like this sub duo is for real. They're one of the best sub duos in the league. Their ARs are playing well. Ben Beans is like an automatic two-piece. It felt like at times during this series. Jamie's just doing his thing. They're just cruising right now in the league.
Also,
Paul Lex got shit on today.
I was waiting for someone to say it. I didn't want to interrupt, but Jesus Christ.
59 kills in 5 maps.
Yeah, he got shit on.
He got Kentucky fried, Mo. Word to Don Dada.
Least damage by far of anyone in the lobby.
Yeah, he's been inconsistent.
You're sucking the whole time.
He had a really bad series today, so didn't do them any favors, and they still won map 5. I don't know how, but I want to say one more thing about just like Toronto. How do they keep getting protocol S&D? I still remember, even though they haven't lost anything but Hacienda so far. How do they keep getting protocol? They've played it. I remember the first series. I think they played against
bad at other maps, and they don't want to let them play other maps.
Yeah, they've got it. They've got it against Rokkr twice, I think, in their series. They've got it against their first match win. I think it might have been like a Seattle win. They played it against Seattle and they won there, right?
X5, yeah.
Like they
played it against Miami.
They're getting it in every series.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something to look at. Yeah, maybe teams are just dog shit out of their maps, so they're just giving Toronto
to play them on
freebie.
red card, Chris. Like they are both undefeated on protocol and red card.
But how many red cards have they played?
Well, like nobody seems to want to play red card S&D. No, 3, and they were 3-0, and they look dominant all 3.
Like, fair enough. They're just they have a dominant map.
It's a pick your poison situation.
They have a dominant mode.
But in regards to Minnesota, bro, they banned red card S&D in every series they played this year. So like I don't know what to tell you. They got to figure that map out. It's that auto veto is kind of a big problem in that Toronto matchup, and yeah, Minnesota's got a lot of work to do. Toronto just got a little edge things to clean up because I think they're a real event contender and. A couple of these teams are playing some good squads here next week, so I'm excited for that.
Who do they play, Ben? Who's coming up for Rokkr? From Rokkr, and both of them, for Rokkr and Toronto. Who they playing?
Toronto's got LAG on Sunday, and then they got OpTic next week, so that'll be interesting. And then Minnesota Rokkr upcoming have Atlanta FaZe on Sunday, and then Vancouver.
Okay, so some winnable matches there for them. I mean, the OpTic series might be tough, but you said they play You said they play LAG.
Oh, Rokkr?
Yeah, I thought that's what you said.
Rokkr play FaZe in Vancouver. Toronto plays LAG.
Toronto plays LAG.
And the problem for Minnesota is FaZe basically have identical-ish map pool at Toronto, outside that 3-0 red card thing. But like,
lastly, before we move on, I just want to tip Estral, bro. Since Estral played really good at the minor, and he had a good series there as well. He's been hitting form for this team.
Estral's good, bro. Estral's really good.
Yeah, guys underrated, bro. I think a lot of people kind of didn't really like see that because he was on that LAG team and they were just kind of in limbo for a while. But I think now that he's playing with these guys and he's gonna have a lot more room to shine.
Yeah. Holy shit, these matches are terrible. We got the Vancouver Surge going up against Vegas. I mean, the Boston Carolina would be good tomorrow.
The Boston Carolina one's a good watch.
That's a good one. It's a good one
Dude,
for sure.
Ben said it earlier. Falcons Surge might be a little trap series.
It's
man.
a trap
It might be a
angle in
little
this one.
trap
I don't know.
series, bro.
I don't know if Vegas is clutching up a game 5 in this hypothetical, but
Wait, you think Vegas is winning this, Ben?
I mean, it wouldn't be.
Ooh.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Nah, bro.
Bro, I want to see Vegas
Vancouver-
get a dub, bro.
They gotta
Vancouver
get it somewhere,
not
Chris.
look good this year. Vancouver
gotta get it
not look
somewhere.
good.
These guys got to get at least one dub on the board. Dude.
They're not. I don't think these guys get like, bro. I might be a hater, bro, but I don't think these guys get a win until they get kicks and Exnid back. No bullshit. Like they gotta have both because Exnid's been hitting form, and then kicks was good before. So until they get those two, I don't have faith in them winning a game. But
I'm picking them every
Prove me
series,
wrong,
bro.
surprise me.
I'm a Vegas Falcons fan, man. I'm pulling for them.
You go
From every series. Are you
Every
picking them?
series.
Are you picking them in every single series? Like when we do these predictions, or what?
Oh, we're keeping track? Nah.
Well, let's do the predictions for. I mean, we got CLOUD9 Miami after that, and then we got Boston Carolina last match of the day. So another 3-match day. We'll start the first series, Vancouver Falcons. I'm going Vegas Falcons tomorrow, 3-1. Actually, no, 3-2. A last map grueler. Vegas Falcons are gonna win the S&D. They're gonna shock the world. Ben, who do you got?
I got, unfortunately, Vancouver Surge 3-1.
No, stand on business, Benjay.
boo.
No, man. Vegas Falcons 3-1.
Let's go, Sam. Say, let's go.
Yep.
What about you, Duarte?
Listen, I got the Vegas Falcons.
Yeah.
You guys are all
Yeah.
fucking.
Inshallah, Vegas Falcons.
Yeah, we'll see
Let's
about that,
go.
Benjay. We'll see about that. All right, then we got CLOUD9 Miami. Personally, after how I saw CLOUD9 look today, I got Miami tomorrow. I think Miami's gonna come
Miami's
out and
Search
take
and
it.
Destroy is my dirt
They're
ass,
so
though.
bad, Surge, bro. Like,
But they looked pretty good in respawn. I watched them in scrims this week as well. Shout out to the OpTic boys.
They did beat
for
OpTic in
streaming their
scrims,
streams.
man.
Yeah, they've been
They did
playing
beat
pretty
OpTic in
well.
scrims.
So I think in respawn, I think Miami should be able to win this one.
God, this is the blow it up bowl.
You think so, Sam? You think this is the blow it up
Yeah,
bowl?
these teams stink.
Bro, if Miami could win a damn search, they wouldn't be a bad team. They're pretty good at respawn,
not-
but their search is
they're
god
9 and 5 in
awful.
respawn. Like,
Bro, their
just
search
can't win a
is
game 5 with the way their S&D
god-awful.
is.
I'll pick Miami. Fuck it, why not?
You're picking Miami?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Ben, who'd you pick?
CLOUD9 game 5.
Ooh, CLOUD9. Interesting. What about you, Duarte?
I'm picking Miami, bro. Listen, I bought their camo yesterday because I was playing with Rencor and I was watching them play and I was like, yo, this shit looks kind of nice. So, yeah, like, I'm going with them because I just bought their camo.
Because he
I'm not
bought their
gonna lie.
camo.
No,
W.
that's insane. That's insane, bro. That's crazy. Okay, then we got Boston going up against Carolina. This is going to be a good one. Personally, I have Carolina in this one.
I'm so excited for this series.
Yeah,
Which is insane to say now. If you told me that I would be looking forward to a Boston Breach Carolina series at the beginning of the year, I thought you were smoking crack.
This is about to be a banger series.
I
It's gonna
got
be
I got Carolina game 5. Absolute banger. TJ Halley going off game 5.
Absolutely. And, what about you, Sam, Chris? You guys all got Carolina?
I've been spewing Carolina proppy since the preseason, bro. I'm switching it. I'm Boston game 5.
Fuck, you took my surprise pick, so now I got to pick against
Boston
you.
game 5. I am still high on Ravens, though, but I think they do lose this series.
All right, absolutely. I mean, we got 3 matches tomorrow. We'll tune in, get the watch party, get another episode of the flank, and we'll get right back to it. I'm excited for Sunday's matches, too. We got some banger matches on Sunday, so I'm excited for that. Ben, you want to sync us out?
Yeah, I got you. Let me adjust my camera.
I gotta make the poll. I don't know where the mods are today. There's no like no mods in the chat.
Because you're not paying them, Tom. They're
Absolutely.
unionized.
Absolutely. They unionized. Fuck it. We'll get new ones. We'll get new mods. Who wants to be a mod?
Type 1 if you want to be a mod.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, I'm a
points,
mod.
Channel points per vote. How much do I put the channel points per vote to?
Wait, I'm a mod. Hold on.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't know. It says channel points per vote. What do I put it to? One?
One.
Oh, they're saying one.
No, they're typing 1 because they want to be modded. Jesus Christ. Christ.
What shit? What should we
Let
do?
Ben sink his putt, man.
I'm doing 100. I'm doing 100 channel poll. I don't know. I
He's
don't know
gonna
what
hit
that
the putt
means.
before you do the damn poll, Tom.
Ladies and gentlemen, the poll is up. Now back to wait. Ben, give it 30 seconds. Poll is up. I don't think I did it right. I don't think I did the poll right. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Oh, it's over with. Just go ahead, Ben.
That's
Just
not a poll. It's a prediction, Tom.
I did a
not a poll.
I did a chat. It said chat a
You
point.
did a poll, not a prediction.
Sam, it said chat a point. Sam, it said that.
No preddies, Tom. All good.
All right, my putting or no?
Scuffed.
I mean, you might as well. I don't know
Just
what I'm
putt,
doing.
man.
I don't make polls. I don't. It's an. Why do you say L meets? L mods. Where the mods at? The
He's
mods
just
is-
talent, chat. Tommy's
I'm
just talent. He doesn't do the behind the scenes. He just shows up.
Produce. I gotta do everything.
He just shows up.
I
He
hope
doesn't
Ben
do all
misses
the
the part. I hope he
all the
fucking
extras.
misses. I hope he misses the damn parts. Fucking asshole.
Wait, I did it. I
And he
did it.
misses it. Look, he missed the part. He missed
Oh,
it.
it's too late. It's too late.
That dumbass missed it.
I thought he made it.
He missed it, man. Did he make it? He said,
thought
he said,
I thought he made that. I couldn't tell.
And he's going for a second one. Look, he's going for a second one because he missed it.
Wait,
Look,
he always hits
missed
the second one if he misses it.
He missed the next one. Oh, man. Oh, this guy can't hit a ball. He can't hit a ball.
Tomatoes in the chat, man. Tomatoes.
Oh, man. Throw the tomatoes. Throw the fucking tomatoes.
Man.
Did he make that
I
one?
fear they picked up the
Oh, he
pinch,
missed
bro.
it again. He missed it again. Oh,
Bro, I'm down
man.
so tremendous, bro.
Ben, is that 3 putts in a row?
Look, this is where Benjay says it's the winter time. I'm not golfing.
Bro, I haven't putter yet.
Nah, we're not leaving until you hit the putt. We're not leaving. Hit the fucking putt. Yeah.
That's good spawn traps right now.
Finally, man.
Bro,
Damn.
I was missing so many putts on stream today. I
did the prediction for you. By the
No,
way.
I have the putter yips right now, bro.
So
for
was it
sure.
no? Was it no? Did he miss
Yeah,
it?
he missed
Oh,
all of
it's
them.
all-
He missed all of them, bro.
No.
missed it.
The answer is
What?
no. Luigi Big Nose. Complete prediction.
Why is that the
There you go.
prediction?
WPay.
Why the hell is that the prediction? The hell is
I
going
made
on?
it.
I made it. I made it.
So
He
long.
missed. I paid out, chat.
That was the
Hold
fastest lick that anybody has hit.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
insane.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think Chris Deadash has made the poll after Ben missed 4 putts and said, "Did he make it or miss it?"
Nah, I made it a while ago, but I
Hey,
couldn't
everybody
find like how
catching
to
free
like.
licks,
I don't
man.
know what's
Everybody getting
going on.
free licks here, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, if you want to be a mod,
Insane
yeah,
lick.
drop it in the chat, man. Put a one in the chat. We're
Everyone
gonna
just
make the
bet
mod.
no.
Yeah.
Literally everybody bet no as soon as that
Yo,
poll
on ban
spawned.
request.
And
I
so look-
bad big nose tomato.
Oh, man.
Yeah, now they're throwing tomatoes
right.
and shit.
Let's
All right,
wrap it
guys. We're gonna wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of The Flank. Obviously, we only had 3 matches today, so pretty quick day. Tomorrow, it's probably be the same. We'll see kind of how the matchups play out, but yeah, tomorrow we'll be back at it. So just thank you guys all so much for tuning in. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out all the audio sites that we're on. Go follow at The Flank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. And then, of course, ZooMaa.gg for the merch. Make sure to go check that out. And yeah, I think that's it. Unless I'm missing anything, Ben. Am I missing anything? I think that's everything. Join the community if you haven't already. Join the community on Twitter. It's spotlighted to the Flank Twitter. It's also spotlighted to my Twitter. What the hell is Duarte doing? But guys, that's gonna do it. Take care. Brush your hair. Fucking love y'all. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy. So long.
Get a.
I'm talking about.